So you guys know, who do I always say is my fake customer? What's her name? You know, it's always Cindy, right? She is my imaginary friend from when I was a little kid. My imaginary friend's name was Cindy. So when I met Cindy and she was like, "You're Carol Tassa," I'm like, "You're Cindy," because that was my imaginary friend's name. And she is so cute. You could put her in your pocket. I probably would have her as my imaginary friend. So Cindy is married to Ken, who is adorable and lovely. And she has 3 boys, Ryan, Zach, and Micah. Micah or Mika?
Micah.
Micah, I thought so. Okay. She started her Mary Kay business in February 14th, 2002. She became a sales director 2003 in October, so not very long. Prior to Mary Kay, she was an elementary grade school teacher. So you've had 2 different teachers. Angela was last week. I'm the teacher too, and then Cindy. And she was a single woman who was living month to month on her income. She's driven 9 career cars. 4 of them have been the pink Cadillac. Her unit was the #1 unit in East Texas to earn the pink Cadillac XT6, which we do not have in Canada, by the way.
Oh,
I know. Aww. We should have it. Our potholes are big enough to lose a Cadillac in. She has represented her unit on stage at seminars as a part of the $300,000 and $350,000 Circle of Achievement unit clubs twice, the $400,000 unit of achievement, the $500,000 Circle of Achievement twice, and she represented her unit in the $650,000 and $700,000 Circle of Excellence. She took her husband Ken on their first all expenses paid trip where we met in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and then to Hawaii last year. She also earned a free trip to the Bahamas on the Destination Red cruise. Did you go on the cruise? You did. Yeah, I just took the money, but then I'm like, I don't remember what I spent it on, so I probably should have gone on the cruise. She also made another appearance on the seminar stage as part of the Queen's Court of Sales in the last 7 years, making her a 6-time double star achiever. So that means you have to do Court of Sharing and Court of Sales, or Unit Club and Court of Sales, or Unit Club and Court of Sharing. Okay, so you have to do 2 to be double star, 3 to be triple. And then she made her first appearance as a triple star achiever last year? It just says also made 2 years ago? 2 years ago, when you did your first trip. She's also completed the National Court of Sales this year and has over $50,000 in personal sales and counting. Her highest commission check has been almost $23,000 in 1 calendar month. Y'all, come on. We need noise. Make some noise, okay? Cindy is passionate about the growth she's experienced in her Mary Kay journey and the ability to help women reach their God-given potential. Her dream of retiring her husband from corporate America came to fruition in May 2018, and they're now a family of entrepreneurs. He is a very successful real estate agent, and like, you should see him hustle. He's awesome. And her ultimate desire is to be a leader of leaders and build the Sheppa national area where she will have the larger platform to impact women's lives internally, externally, and eternally. Please welcome Pink Cadillac Director and my amazing friend, Cindy Sheppa. So unmute yourself and give her a big round of applause. Woo! All right, there are more people, I'm sure, but they're also broadcasting to Facebook. So I'm going to check on there for questions as we go, Cindy, but I'm going to give you the floor and I'm going to put it on speaker view. So that's for the recording. But if you, like me, don't want to see your face the whole time, you can change your own, I think, but I'm not sure. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to see your cute, cute face, because it is adorable. Okay, so everybody.
I think you're muted.
I muted myself before I finished talking. Make sure you're ready to take notes and listen to Cindy as she shares her June joy.
Hello, everybody. Again, Cindy Sheppa, and coming at you from my home studio in Lindale, Texas. Really, really far away from you guys. And I am so excited to just come on here and share a little bit with you today about my journey and the joy moments along the way, and challenge you to find your own joy moments. I absolutely love and adore Carol. Before I even met her in person, I stalked her on Facebook, because her vibrancy and her enthusiasm, and she has like more charisma in like her pinky than most people have in their whole entire body. And I was just drawn to Carol. And I took on the charcoal mask challenge because Carol did it and I wanted to do it too. And we were going after Trip for the first time, right? And that was a game changer for my unit. So thank you, Carol. I know that was your brainchild, and I know the company was like, "You're not supposed to do this," but who cares?
I was just gonna say, and then I got you guys all in trouble.
It doesn't matter. It made a difference, and I would do it again. So as soon as I met Carol in Argentina, it was an instant like fast friends connection, and we got to hang out a lot in Argentina. They were our favorite people to hang out with, my husband and I, and just had stayed up like we had this really cool lounge, like bar area, like in our hotel, and we stayed up till probably 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, talking, playing games. I mean, just having just an incredible time. And some of my best memories that we've made so far with being on the top director trips, Carol was part of those memories. So love her. You guys are very blessed to have Carol as your leader and your mentor. And congratulations for all of you guys, because y'all are killing it. I'm so proud of you. I'm following y'all on Facebook. So know that people are watching. And I know y'all had like a rockin' May, like over $100,000 in sales or something crazy like that in May. And y'all already earned your trip. Already finished up Circle of Excellence. We already finished up Circle of Excellence too. And so we're going to be going together whenever that is. I don't know. But we'll be going together on the next trip. And so one of the best parts of your journey in Mary Kay is the girlfriends you make along the way. Honestly, it really is. They've made me a better person, a stronger person. Many have helped me in my faith journey. I mean, there's just I'm a better version of myself because of the people I've surrounded myself with. And guys, let me tell you, you want to surround yourself by top directors. You do. You totally do, because you are going to be like the people you surround yourself with, right? And so if you surround yourself with big thinkers, big doers, big dreamers, big believers, you're going to be that, right? If you surround yourself with negative energy suckers, broke, ugly people, just saying, you're going to be like that, right? And so guard yourself of who you put into your circle, right? And who you listen to, and who you surround yourself with. Guard your heart. That's part of, one thing that God calls us to do is to guard our hearts because of their wellspring, right? And so just a little bit of background about me and some of my joy-filled moments in my journey in Mary Kay. I, again, started my Mary Kay business 18 and a half years ago on Valentine's Day. I was a teacher. I was young, single, and broker than broke. Okay. I mean, like a broke. Like my biggest dream was to be able to pay all my bills and not have to eat ramen noodles at the end of the month. Like seriously, like I was seriously dream handicapped. I was a big dreamer when I was a little girl. I thought I was going to like go into the Peace Corps and I was going to marry a doctor and we were going to save the world together. And then life happened and it got stifled along the way. And then I became dream handicapped. And one of the best parts of this business is the girlfriends, but another best part of this business is that we have the ability to dream again and the vehicle to make those dreams a reality. And so some of the things that I'm going to share with you guys is some dreams that I have financed along the way in these joy moments. So go back 18 years ago, was a single woman living month to month. I was praying for a way to make some extra money on the side, but I didn't want to work like a regular, like part-time job, like at Gap or, waiting tables, because I was young and single and wanted social time. And that was like 12 to 15 hours on the weekend. And I wasn't willing to give that time up. But I was broke. And so I was praying for, just a way to make some extra money. And I knew that I wasn't meant to be a teacher the rest of my life either. I just didn't really know what I was supposed to do. So I was kind of praying for a direction to go in too with that, if I need to go back to school or what I needed to do. And y'all, never in a million years would I have imagined that Mary Kay would have been the answer to my prayers. I thought Mary Kay women had big blue hair, wore gobs and gobs of makeup, and went door to door, little pink box. Like, that's what I pictured as a Mary Kay beauty consultant. I did not wear makeup when I started. I had never sold anything in my life. And I was busier than busy, and so I'm surprised somebody even shared with me, really. I'm a perfect example of not prejudging people, right? And so I was invited to a Mary Kay party by my little sister, my sorority. I honestly thought she was nuts because she was young and cute, but I went to be supportive and really was impressed with the product. I was like, this isn't my grandma's makeup. I mean, this is some good stuff. And y'all, this was Dallas, Texas. That's the home of Mary Kay. And nobody had ever, I had knew one person that was a Mary Kay consultant. I'd ask her for an acne treatment gel or something to help with my acne because I had acne, adult onset acne. She never got it to me and never asked me for a facial. And that's the only time I was ever approached, or not even approached, like I even ever knew anything. And I grew up in Dallas, right? And so you would think, oh, it's over. No. And so I went to the party. It was very impressed with the product. Of course, I could barely afford anything. I think I got a lip gloss and a lip liner. I didn't wear a lip liner. I mean, I don't know why I did. I wanted the J-Lo lip, like the nude lip. That's what I asked for. And they gave me like a nude lip liner and I don't know, lip gloss, beach bronze or something. I don't know. And because that's what I wanted was a J-Lo. I didn't know what to do with my makeup. And so, but then the director started sharing a little bit about the business, and literally got everything she said impressed me, everything. And I kept asking question after question, trying to find something wrong, and I couldn't. And finally I asked her what she made, because in my mind I was thinking, this is a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids and she sells lipstick. I mean, she can't possibly make that much more money than me. And when she told me that what she made was 4 times what I made as a teacher, I got pissed. I mean, I was like, this is not fair. I am educating the future of tomorrow, and this chick is selling lipstick. Like, something's wrong here. But I didn't get it. I thought it was all about the product. Now, don't get me wrong, the product's amazing. Y'all know that, right? It's incredible. But it really, honestly, y'all, it's the vehicle that Mary Kay uses to enrich women's lives. To give a woman an unparalleled business opportunity where they can get what they want out of life, but still keep the things that they value most. And so I was very intrigued, to say the least. And so I held a party for my consultant because I wanted product and I needed it for free. I was actually her very first hostess. And I went ahead and I got to try the product on my face that night at the party on February 14th. And I decided to start my business. And honestly, y'all, I really just did it for the money. Like I said, I was broke, and I was like, if I don't try this, I mean, if I don't do something to change, nothing's going to change. And I did not have the $100 to start. I put it on a credit card and just added to my excessive credit card debt that I had. And but I knew that no matter how hard I worked as a teacher, no matter how many hours I put in, I would make the same amount of money as the person that went home and the kids went home. And so I knew that if I didn't do something to change, nothing was going to change. And so I took a risk on myself, because I was not the type of person that you would ever think would do Mary Kay, and said yes. And within the first 4 months, this is my first joy moment in Mary Kay. I always talk to my girls about, I want you to finance a dream in Mary Kay. It could be anything from, I have one girl that's a single mom, and she said, Cindy, I just want to be able to make an extra $100, $200 a month to be able to take my kids to the water park or out to eat. She gets no financial support from her ex-husband, and she works a very menial job, and she barely is making ends meet. She's like, I just want to be able to treat my children. And so that's her dream that she's financing. And then I have other women that I want to be able to put $10,000 down on a house and have my very first house on my very first home. That's the dream that they're financing. And then everything in between. I have one girl that's like getting lawn furniture for outdoors because she has she had a severe condition which she could not breathe. Like she could not go and spend time with her family outdoors. And so now, and God has healed her from that. And so she wants to create an outdoor living space for her family and just be, be there with her family because she didn't get to experience that a year ago. So, so there's lots of different joy moments, but one thing that I know is that when you develop a joy moment, or you have a dream that you want to finance, that it has to be something that there's a strong why behind it, not necessarily a financial why, but a emotional why tied to it. Okay. And because the emotional whys, like this girl that wants to be able to have time outdoors with her family, right? That emotional why will push you beyond and through the challenges and the struggles and the no's that come your way, right? It's those whys that make you cry. That is what's going to motivate you to when you don't feel like it. Right? And there's going to be times when you don't feel like it, right? But you're going to do it anyway because of that emotional why that you are working towards that is something bigger than you. So my very first dream that I financed, my very first joy moment came 4 months after I started my Mary Kay business. See, I was $8,000 in credit card debt, guys, when I started. And I grew up in a family that was debt free. Like you had a credit card. We used it maybe when we went to stay in a hotel. Like my parents had like incredible credit, right? And like we just did not use credit cards in my family. Well, when you have more month than money, then you got to break out the credit cards, right? And so, and I wasn't, elaborate in what I was buying, y'all. I was 27 and I had been in a sorority and everybody was getting married and I was in like 10 weddings. And I swear that most of that $8,000 in debt was wedding gowns, like, bridesmaid gowns. I swear it was. So it wasn't like I was going crazy shopping, right? But I had $8,000 in credit card debt. I felt like I was suffocating. Have y'all ever felt like that, right? Like you had this weight on your shoulders and on your chest that like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, right? And so what I did is I got a loan to start my Mary Kay business. I did not have the Mary Kay card when I started. I got a loan from the teacher credit union. And I got approved for enough to be able to start with a full store, and I did. And I had a $105 loan payment, and I used my very first profits from my very first party every month to pay my loan payment. And then I had enough. I was able to take all the profits because it was a profit level store and reinvest that into my credit card debt. I continued to live the lifestyle that I was living before Mary Kay, even though I was making a great amount more money than I was as a teacher. I continued to live kind of like a pauper, right? And put back every single dime of that profit, plus what I was already paying, which was the minimum balance, because that's all I could afford with my teacher salary, on the credit cards. And within 4 months, I was able to cut up every single one of those credit cards. And so I'm real passionate about helping. Oh, thank you. I'm real passionate about helping women to become financially independent. And guys, it wasn't just like the money, right? The money was a motivation definitely to start, but the feeling that I had in just visualizing that point where I know that I'm putting this back, I'm putting this towards like this credit card debt. It's hard. Like I really wanted to take that money and go to Chick-fil-A, like it's hard. It's discipline, right? But I had such a inner motivation to get out of debt that it didn't matter. It didn't matter that it was hard. It didn't matter that if I didn't feel good, it didn't matter. And I had visualized that time of that joy moment of being able to cut those credit cards up, right? Or sign that last check for that very last credit card. So that was my first joy moment in my Mary Kay journey. And guys, there's been hundreds hundreds in the last 18 years that I've been in Mary Kay, but we don't have all night. I don't think everybody's in their pajamas. And so I'm just going to share two more big joy moments with you guys. So fast forward, when I started my Mary Kay business, I was dating a guy. He was not supportive of my Mary Kay business. I actually signed up against his wishes. Like when I left that launch party, I called him and I was like, I think I know what I'm supposed to do, like, to make some money. And he was like, what? Because we had been talking about, that I was looking for another job, and I was, I just didn't really know what I was supposed to do. I was like, be a Mary Kay girl. And he was like, no, like that's for people that don't have a degree, and you don't have the time. And so I was like, well, we'll just talk about it later. And I knew he was going to talk me out of it. And so I just signed up without him. And then, sometimes better ask forgiveness than permission. And he was not very happy that I did, but I started working it. I started moving up into leadership. At first, all I cared about was sales. And then I went to seminar, and it was like, God convicted me, and I bawled my eyes out. And he's like, how dare you keep the best opportunity in the world for women, to yourself. And so that's when I made a decision. I wanted to be a leader. And that time next year, that next seminar, I was in DIQ, Director in Qualification. And I had just got married to that guy that was not happy with me and being
Did
married.
you go to that party on Valentine's Day?
I held a party Valentine's morning because we were going to get
on the morning. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
we're going to get all cute. We're going to get all cute, for our date.
Is that an indicator, right?
Yeah, because remember, I didn't know anything about makeup, so I needed somebody to teach me how to do it.
Hey, Scotty heard the siren song of your voice from upstairs, so he just wants to come and say hi. Come here. Knock my lights off. Just poke your head in. Come here. It's very, tense.
Hey.
He was like, "Is that Cindy?" Yes, it's Cindy.
So I got married to this guy while I was in DIQ. I would not recommend getting married while you're in DIQ, especially to a guy that's not supportive of your business. But I did, and became a director in October, and was making more part-time in Mary Kay as a director than I was as a full-time teacher, my very first love check as a director. And so I retired from teaching in December, middle of the year, and have been doing it full-time ever since. So we got married. After I retired from teaching, we bought a house, and then everything went downhill, everything. And he decided he was not happy. And we were separated by that September. So just a little over a year after we got married, we were separated. Nobody in my family had ever been divorced. So I was like, we're going to get back together. I mean, this is just a phase he's going through. Yeah, a year and a half later, of my darkest desert time in my entire life as a brand new sales director, y'all. And there was some times where I made some, I allowed my emotions to dictate my actions. And it is through God's grace alone that I'm still a sales director, honestly. And so a year and a half later, the divorce was final. That was my desert time, like big time. Like I was on my face a lot, on my knees and on my face. And it was the first time in my life I had ever lived by myself, ever in my life. And so it was hard. And I'm telling you guys this, and I don't tell everybody this, but I'm telling you this because a lot of people see this successful, sales director that's earned, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's been on all these trips. It's earned all these diamond rings and all these cars, and that have a great family and great kids. And they just think, oh, she's got it all. Like she's just perfect. Right. And they don't see what happens in the journey. Right. And I would not go back and change any of it. I would still even probably marry that man. Oh, that makes me want to throw up in my mouth to think that. But but I am the person I am today because of it. And my faith is where it is today because of that desert time, right? And I am stronger than I have ever been because of that desert time. And I'm with the perfect man for me, because of that desert time, and God revealed to me the characteristics of the person that he made me to marry, right? And so so that was challenging, and I came out of that, and things started picking up once we got a divorce, and I offspring a sales director, and it just started, you know, I've always been a car driver. I've always had a Mary Kay car, well, since I earned my first car, and a director car, which is through God's grace alone again. But then fast forward, I meet my husband, and we get married, and I become the instant mama of 2 little boys. So I went from young and single, married, divorced, you know, and then an instant mom. And so that was awesome. And the boys are incredible, but we've really struggled a lot because of my husband's ex-wife is a severe alcoholic and drug addict. And so we have spent years fighting for the boys. We now have them full time, praise Jesus, and a lot of money fighting for those boys, like $50,000. And it would not have happened if it wasn't for Mary Kay. We would have been in a lot of debt if it wasn't for, we would have fought for them, but we would have been in a lot of debt. And so we've gone through some challenging times, right? And so a few years ago, and then we had our third boy. I'm a boy mom. So we have 3 boys. Now they're 16, 12, and 10. And I got to buy my oldest son his first car, which was really awesome, to be able to go to the bank and take out $6,500 out of the bank and give it for his first car. Oh, here's Carol. You want to say hi?
Yes, I do. Hello, my friend.
Hello, how are you? See, we're friends. This is the thing. This is what happens, though, you guys. When you earn a top director trip, then your husbands make you earn the trip again.
That's
over
right.
and over again, because then we're friends.
If she ever misses the trip again, she'll be sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, right? Except that there's many Junes that I'm like, that's it, you're not coming! Like, and one time I even emailed what's her face at head office, and I was like, yeah, you can just take Scott off the list. He's not going. And she's like, you know what? I'll just come back to you, because definitely get a lot of emails like that in June. True. It's true. She said, I've never had anybody actually not bring their husbands by that time, but in June, like the 23rd, when you're doing dishes and they're not, and you're like, that's it. You're not coming. I'm earning this thing and you don't even care. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they hang out together and then they want to be together. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. The relationships that your guys form with each other is really, really special. It really is. So yeah, that was a joy moment. I wasn't planning on sharing that about the 650, you know, just going and getting 665. And my husband's like, do you have that in your account? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. Because he had gotten money out of our joint account and put it in like in my Cadillac under, like, hid it like underneath, like where the wheel is, right? And then we got furniture for the studio that I'm opening up, and it was all covering him. I'm like, we're not going to pull that furniture out. And I was like, let me just go and get the money, you know, out of my account. And he's like, you have that in your account? I'm like, yeah, babe, I got that in my account. Sometimes you don't need to tell them how much money you have in your account. So anyway, a few years back, I decided that I wanted to treat my family to a trip to Disney World. My kids had never been. My husband had been when he was a kid. I had been as a teenager, college. And so we wanted to go to Disney World. And I wanted my Mary Kay money to pay for that. Like, not my love checks, right? Not my commission checks, but I wanted my sales to pay for it. So I got a jar and I took it to my kids, and I had all these Disney stickers. And I said, guys, we are going to make our Disney dream jar. And they decorated it with stickers. And do I have any moms out there? Oh, I see one right here. A little cute little girl right there. And so we decorated it with stickers. And I said, Mommy is going to take 10% of our sales and we're going to put it in a jar every day. Every week. And so I would go to the bank and I would take 10% of my sales from that week and I would put it in, I'd give it to the boys and they got to put it in the jar. And we did this for a while, y'all. We were, when we were supposed to go, we weren't able to go. And so we just kept adding to it. Right. And we had a vacation account set aside. And so November of last year, I got to take not just my husband and my kids, but my 75-year-old mother that had never been to Disney. We all got in the pink Cadillac. And no, we had to take the minivan because we didn't get the pink Cadillac yet because it took forever to get it. So it took like 6 months to get it. So, because we earned the big one. So anyway, y'all, that was such a big joy moment for my family to be able to take. We had gotten, I got the 7-day star voucher. I don't know if y'all have this, y'all have a different star program than we do, but we got a vacation voucher. And so I got to use that for a vacation for our condo and then pay for everything and had money left over. And Disney is not cheap. If y'all have ever been, it is not cheap. Okay. And so that was really cool. And not just for me, but y'all, it was so cool for my family. And it was such a great lesson, life lessons to teach my kids about saving money, about working hard, about celebrating a win. And every time I would go to a party, my youngest would be like, Mommy, you're going to another Mary Kay party. I'm like, yeah, baby, but I'm taking you to Disney. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. And so that was awesome. That was really, really awesome. And so that's another big joy moment. Now, y'all, the dream vacations, the times on the seminar stage, picking up the diamond rings and all the cars, all of those are just like incredible, huge joy moments. But my top one in all my career in Mary Kay and in my complete journey in this business, my number one joy moment was when I got to retire my husband from his job in corporate America. Y'all, we had been praying from the beginning of our marriage. We both felt that he was not supposed to be at this job that he was at. He was working in the aerospace engineering industry, was not real happy, and it just got worse and worse and worse as the years went by. We moved away from his job about an hour, so then he had a commute back and forth for like 5 years. And every night, my youngest son would pray, "Bring Daddy home." Every single night. That was his prayer. Every vision board, dream board that I had, I would take the saying, "Bring Daddy home," and move it over to a new vision board in the new year. And I would have a new picture of my family up there on that vision board. 10 years we prayed over this. We circled that prayer for 10 years, and we did not relinquish that. And May 1st, 2 years ago, my husband got to say goodbye to his job in corporate America and now pursues his real estate business. We took a huge leap of faith because if y'all know anything about real estate, like usually the first year you suck. Like you do not make money the first year in real estate typically, but my husband was rookie of the year because he rocks and did very well. God really blessed our obedience in taking that leap of faith because guys, he left a very high paying job. Now I did make more money than him, but still it was a still high paying job. Okay. And he left that to pursue a dream. And y'all, it was even to a point. So, we had been praying and praying and praying, and he had been going to all kinds of interviews. And he even went to an interview at a place called Mercy Ship. And it is it's a ministry, and it's a medical mission ship that goes to South Africa and provides medical care to people that can't afford it. Okay, well, their headquarters is here, like 10 minutes away from where we live. And he was asked to come in for an interview, not to work on the ship, but to work in the headquarters. And it was going to be a big pay cut. But we had both, decided it was worth it because it was with our value system. It was close to home. And I was doing well enough for him to take a $7,000 pay cut, and he went to the interview, and his mind was just totally fogged, and he totally bombed the interview, y'all. And he is one of the most personable people, like, and smart. Like, he would not normally bomb an interview, right? He would normally just like totally ace it. And he came home that night, and I was like, how'd you do? And he was like, hey, but I sucked. Like, I don't know what happened. It was horrible. And he's like, I don't understand what's going on. Why is God closing all these doors? Like, he even brought tears to his eyes. And I said, babe, I just think that God has just something so much more in store for you than we could have ever imagined. And he's like, well, I'm just really struggling with that. I just really have a hard time believing that. I'm like, well, then you're just going to have to go on my belief. You're just going to have to go on my belief. And then just a couple of months later, I got a call from Leslie Kane, which is a broker here in Lindale, and said she felt that God told her that I needed to be on her team selling real estate. I was like, I am so flattered, but no. Like, I have I have my calling, and it is not real estate, but maybe God put me on your heart because of my husband. And so we got together with her. We heard the good, the bad, and the ugly of real estate, started taking his classes and his tests, and was able to pass first time, and was able to leave his job on May 1st. And so we took quite a bit of a pay cut, more than $7,000. But June 30th, May 1st, he retired, and June 30th is when we finished up our trip for the first time. And y'all, I had been telling him for years that I was going to earn him a top director trip. Years. And we hadn't done it. And I think that God was just waiting until we really stepped out in faith. I really do. And y'all, my husband did not believe we were going to hit that trip. We had a long way to go. So if you have a long way to go right now to reach your goal for seminar, girls, you can do it. You can do it, because we had a really long way to go, even to the point where on Monday before the end of the month, so the end of the month was a Saturday, Monday before the end of the month, Mary Kay Corporate, an hour and a half, we live about an hour and a half from Mary Kay Corporate. Mary Kay Corporate came out to my meeting and surprised me. And y'all, my love language is surprises. That's not really a love language, but it is. And they surprised me. And my husband and the kids came out. My assistant came out. My senior sales director that lives 2 hours away came out with some of her girls and surprised me for this meeting. Thank God we had a lot of guests. But when I got home that night, I said, babe, Mary Kay believes in us. Don't you believe that we're going to finish it? He's like, I almost told Ravi that he was wasting his time being there. But y'all, I had told him so many times that we were going to do it, and we didn't. And so he did not have that belief. And so even till the very end, he's like, I've never wanted you to prove me wrong more. And so that was really cool. But that is my biggest joy moment. So what I want to challenge you guys to do, okay, is I want you to figure out what your joy moment is going to be from June. Like, what are you going to use your June profits to pay for, to create a joy moment for you, you and your husband, for your family? Maybe it is to, pay off a debt. Maybe it is to take your family on a vacation. Maybe it is to put money down towards a home. I don't know what it is, but I want you to really consider and think about what your joy moment is going to be, why that is your joy moment. Like why is that so motivating to you? Right. And it needs to be something that's going to move you, right? When people say no, when you don't feel like it, that joy, that why that makes you cry, right? And enroll your customers, enroll your friends and family, enroll everybody into that. Because guys, women want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Women want to be part of a win. Doesn't it feel good to be on a winning team? I mean, we all want to be on a winning team, right? And so women want to be a part of a win. So let your people know that what your joy moment is, and by them letting you borrow their face, by them shopping with you, by them starting their Mary Kay business with you, they are getting you closer to that joy moment that you want, and what the reasoning is behind it. And it will move people to action, and it will move you to action. So there you go.
I love it, Cindy. It's so true though, because I think a lot of times we're so reluctant to share the big dreams that don't have anything to do with a diamond ring or a car or anything else, right? I mean, one of my consultants said to me, I need to pay for my dog's surgery. How do I word that? Just like that. Like if you think that your customers don't know that you're using your money for Mary Kay for your life, they need to. And I would rather have my money go to them than to Hudson's Bay Company, or you don't have that, but Sephora or anything else. I'd rather know where my money is going. And what don't you guys want to support somebody that you know is working on something and like working on a big goal? And if you know that you can save her puppy from dying, you're like, in, it doesn't have to be emotional manipulation. You don't have to like post terrible pictures of your poor sad puppy, but it's better than a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And it's real and authentic. And I love that. And I know that for when we were friends on Facebook before we'd even met, that I was enrolled in your dream because you did post that a lot, that you were bringing daddy home, and that was a big deal for you guys. And that it was such a big part of your journey that's why you wanted to go to Argentina so badly. And I know that the first trip we ever earned was because my team knew that I wanted Scott to play the piano in Abbey Road Studios. I wanted him to play John Lennon's piano. And I still tear up thinking about it. That moment, I'll never be able to replace that moment. It's not my favorite moment in Mary Kay, but I know it is. And mine is laying on the floor in the Sistine Chapel. Just by myself, I convinced half the tour group to go ahead. And it was only like the security guards and the one tour guide that stayed behind. And I just laid there and looked up and like, when can you lay on the floor in the Sistine Chapel? Like never, right? But those are the dreams that we're enrolling our customers in and as part of. So when you first started, how did you enroll your customers and even grab customers and find customers that wanted to be part of your dream?
Well, I was blessed, and there was a lot of natural networking that was real easy for me because I was involved in so much stuff. So I was a teacher, so I had all these teachers, right? And then I was also a vice president membership of my sorority group, my alumni group, and in junior league and in church and all that stuff. And so I had a lot of opportunity to naturally network with people. It wasn't until I got married and moved to this little town that they really didn't really care about you unless you were born there or grew up there, and that where I realized that, okay, I've got to figure something out to network, because naturally networking wasn't going to happen because I wasn't involved in any of that stuff. And the church that I went to, my senior sales director, or my offspring sales director, went to that same church, and she grew up there and was cheerleading coach, and everybody knew her. And in my mind, and it was just the stories I was telling myself, honestly, y'all, in my mind, everybody was her customer, right? And so it wasn't until my husband said, you have got to go back to teaching. Like, you've got to go sub. And I even took the test. I even took did the background test. I went to the orientation. I walked out of that orientation. I said, screw this. I am not going back in that classroom. And it took that for me to like get into action. And so that's when I really started, figuring out. I did this thing called Everyday Heroes, which I absolutely love. And it was honoring women that were making a difference in the world through their job, through their volunteer work, or just how they live their life. And I love making other people feel special and important. And that was very easy for me to compliment people, and even people I didn't really know very well, and then they got to nominate people that were everyday heroes that they knew. And so it got me in front of a lot of quality people.
Can you explain that just a little bit more? Because I saw everybody go, ooh, so what did you say?
so I did this when I moved to Lindale. I did it in Greenville a little bit, but I did this when I moved to Lindale because I knew that I was not going to make the same mistake as I did in Greenville and wait to like be on purpose with building my customer base and networking. And so when I moved to Lindale, I picked out 5 women that just I had met like through church or through like my kids' teachers were my first 2 everyday heroes, right? And it was January 1st, right? They were on January 1st. It was they came and got facials, both of my kids, my younger kids' teachers. And so they were my first ones. And then like the youth director from church, the children's pastor from church, people I didn't really know very well, but I knew that what they were doing. A nurse that I knew that I heard of, and I just said, I am starting a portfolio and it's called Everyday Heroes Portfolio. And it's where I'm featuring women that are living a life that they're making a difference, whether it is through their job or through the way, their volunteer work or just the way that they live their life. And I have selected you as one of my everyday heroes because, and I would just pour into her and tell her why I selected her. And then I would do a facial on her and I would tell her before we got together for a facial, I said, you actually have the privilege of nominating 5 everyday heroes. So who would you like to share your experience with and honor them in the Everyday Hero portfolio? And so sometimes people brought people with them. Sometimes they just gave me the names of people. I had these little forms that they just, so-and-so is an everyday hero because blah, blah, blah. And then I would call those people and I would say, hi, this is Sheppa. And I just wanted to call you and let you know that you have actually been nominated as an everyday hero. And this by so-and-so, and this is what she said about you. And I am with Mary Kay and I'm featuring these everyday heroes in a portfolio and I would love to feature you. We just need to choose a time to get together. We'll do a little pampering. I'll take a picture and feature you in that everyday hero portfolio. We just need, when's a good time for us to get together? Beginning of the week or end of the week? Like, I didn't even say, do you want to? Like, nobody said no to me. Not a single person said no to me. Like, who would do that? Who would say no to like being featured in the Everyday Hero portfolio, right? And then I even had a reception and I had an Everyday Hero reception and I made certificates and I put down what was said about them on the certificate and I had it catered and all that kind of stuff. And we had this Everyday Hero reception. So it was really fun. And that's my heart is I love like building other women up and making them feel special. And so that was something that's one of the funnest ways to network that I have found. I also love doing like honoring working women and doing luxury lunches. I've done a lot of that. I've done a lot of where we do a community service project and I'll go in and I will like go into offices to see if they want to partner up with us for a community service project, like adopt a grandparent or chemo care packages or, or we're doing frontline relief, right now. And then when I go into those offices, I say, oh, and every office that I talk to, you'll go into a drawing for a luxury lunch. And so they're like, and so I just need to write down your name and number to put, whoever's in charge to put you guys in the drawing. And then everybody won, and then I would call them. I'm like, oh my gosh, your office won our luxury lunch. And y'all literally, I would go to Walmart and get, the big 6-foot sandwiches and I would cut them and grab a bag of chips. And that was our luxury lunch. But I would do the skincare on the back of the hand. I would do a drawing and then I would schedule them for like an actual facial. So that is another really fun thing that I love to do that I've done. I'm not doing that really with COVID right now. But it's another thing that I've done to network.
So what are you doing right now with COVID? Like, how are you managing with, your team and then how are they getting new customers, things like that? Because I know you're all doing that, right?
Yeah, that has been a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you. It has been a challenge. But the best thing that we have done is that I created this thing called Pink Love Packs. And I shared it with all the top directors. So you probably have that information, but it's basically where it's a facial in a bag is basically what it is, but I call it pink love packs. And so when I do a party with somebody or I'm doing a guest event, over Zoom, then I say, oh, and you can nominate 5 of your favorite friends to receive a pink love pack in the mail. And so go ahead and drop their names and numbers in the, in the chat, or go ahead and text your Mary Kay girl the names and numbers of your 5 favorite friends, and you get to treat them to a customized pampering pack that will be mailed to their door. Right. And so that's been my favorite thing to get, referrals, because who doesn't like free samples, right? And then I contact them to figure out what their skin type is and all that kind of stuff. And I go through the regular pre-profiling, and then I set them up for either a FaceTime facial, or they plug into an event, or I have specific times that I plug lots of people in at one time to make it a party. They don't even know each other, sometimes. And sometimes I have it to where the person that nominated them, they're the ones that are they do it with them, so there's just different things that I've done with that. But the pink love packs have been awesome. We are out of samples.
Yeah, so are we. We didn't really have any to begin with. So it wasn't like, we have an issue with the SPF and things like that. It's hard in Canada because everything has to be labeled in French. And then there's specific rules about things that are SPF. So yeah, it's a little limiting, but there's lots of stuff that you guys can send. And you can buy these kind of stamps. They're $12 for 6 of them. So they work out to $2 each, and they'll ship something bigger, like a mascara or a brow gel, or an SPF lip balm, things like that. They'll fit through the slot with this bigger stamp, so that you can ship limited edition things, or things that are vintage as gifts that you're trying to get rid of, as long as they're smaller. The guidelines are on the Canada Post website. Cindy, it's so expensive for
pirate ship.
We don't have anything. And it's the one time I went to go mail an eye makeup remover off my shelf, it was going to cost me $32. So I always tell my American friends on, and they always give me this. Yeah, this is why when people say, but you don't have what do you do with all your out of town customers? You must ship to them. And I'm like, no, I ship directly from Mary Kay because it is way cheaper. Yeah.
So how much is it to ship from Mary Kay? Do y'all have a discount?
We have a half price right now. They're doing half price indefinitely till the end of COVID, and it's $4. So that's nice. Usually it's $9. Unless it's a humongous order, and then it's 12. But yeah, it's not bad, but it's way cheaper than we don't have that. We don't have a Mary Kay credit card. We don't have any of those things. So we have a few challenges in that aspect, right? But
you know what? I was talking to Rachel Bullock, and she has girls in she has a new director that's in Colombia.
In Peru. She's
Peru.
Yeah.
No, they have no shipping at all.
They have nothing. And her new director had COVID, and her whole family had COVID, and they have to walk to the post office, and they have to take a bus.
They can't even leave their home. They will get arrested if they leave their home.
Yeah. It was crazy, and she still finished DIQ. So
there's no postal service. There's not even a postal service.
They can't do anything. They got to deliver it.
Yeah.
If you can't leave your house.
Yeah. So you have to pay a carrier to go take your product. It is insane. Yeah.
And
so we're all blessed, y'all. We're all blessed.
Yeah, totally blessed. Okay, you guys, do you have questions for Cindy? Because I know you do. Cindy is the queen of strategy, and yes, she did a big love kind of chat and makes you all inspired, but this girl understands the logistics and the plan. She's the very first person on these top director trips that the second that you're I don't know, I'm sort of struggling with it, she's like, I got an idea. And she just goes. She's got all these different cool things that she does. So hit her up. We have a DIQ here in the group, by the way.
Who's the DIQ?
DIQ right there. I'm going to poke at her.
Andrea?
No, Selena is. And Andrea just finished her ring, and she probably has little kids yelling in the background, so she's probably not going to mute. And then Christy's finishing her ring right now. And Selena, you're finishing your ring right now, right? Yes? Yeah. And Andrea is working for Top 20 in Canada. And Donna, you're finishing your ring or no? Donna's an adopted. I never know your number. Sorry. So we've got some like pretty stinking good, awesome people on.
Yeah.
We've got lots watching on the Facebook too, so I should check them for their questions. All right, go ahead and ask your questions, guys. Did Andrea unmute and then not? Andrea? Okay, I'm just gonna mute her. She'll figure it out. All right, Christy, you've got to have a question or love on her or anything.
Oh, I don't have a question, but I really liked how you put like the joy moments and that kind of thing along the way, because that's usually what I use my profits for, is to do special stuff like that. So this month I actually put it out. I booked a castle for our wedding anniversary.
Awesome.
And like a private chef and everything. So I want to, pay that off because it's like $1,000 a night. So I really liked, the joy moments. And then I really want to go back and like look at what lifestyle I want, right? And be able to kind of work my business that way. Because really, I don't know, obviously the money's not motivating me that much, but the lifestyle I think will, and what I can do with my family is more. So I thought that was really good. I liked it.
Awesome.
Well, I'd like to talk really quickly because I might have to go. I was really interested in when you went to the small town and then you went to the town where, because I just moved here, well, almost 3 years ago, but I live between two towns. I live in the middle of nowhere, between two towns that I'm not from, which you obviously know very much. And so I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm determined to make it happen. And so we DIQ'd June 1st, and then my daughter ended up in the hospital on Tuesday, and I have my two-year-old and 4-year-old grandson. And now we just found out that she's going to be there for another 10 days. And I'm like, you know what? I took the first 4 days and said, that's okay. Nona's just going to play. And this morning I got up and said, yeah, Nona can't play. Everybody else has children. Everybody else lives. Everybody's struggled. And I was really like inspired by I moved there. Nobody lets you play in their sandbox because, your grandfather didn't have the farm next door. How did your luxury, your pink love packs, or was it your everyday heroes? What was your first idea when you first moved there and realized that nobody likes you? Not that they don't like you, but you know what I mean.
One thing I realized, that it was a story I was telling myself, right, too, when I moved to Green, out of Dallas. And because I had never learned how to on purpose network. It had always come very, very naturally to me because I was involved in so much stuff and I had such a huge circle of influence that when I moved there, I was like, well, I don't know anybody and I'm not from here. And, my offspring sales director like grew up here and knows everybody and they're all her customers. And also there had been in that community, there had also been a pink stalker that had given Mary Kay a really bad name. And so it was hard to like overcome that challenge, and really, really change the reputation of Mary Kay. And my offspring sales director and I did that, really. But y'all, I earned my first pink Cadillac while in Greenville, like in that place that I had to almost went back to work in the school system because I was not cutting it, right? And I finished my first quarter sales in that year that I earned my pink Cadillac. I finished my first quarter sales too, and it was a stretch. Like I needed like $3,000 wholesale in the last month, right? But I did it because I was determined, and I realized after leaving that orientation, I walked out of there and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I got to figure this out. Like, I've got to figure out a way to build a customer base because I am not going back in that classroom. And so it got to a point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Like it had to get to that point to move me beyond what my stinking thinking was, that nobody was going to buy from me, that nobody likes Mary Kay, that whatever the story I was telling myself. And then I went and I focused on others. Like I was like, what can I do to build my customer base? It wasn't all about me though. It was like, I get joy from pouring into others and making others feel good, right? And so I was like, what can I do? And that's when we started Adopt a Grandparent. And it's basically where we partnered up with businesses and organization. And for every $10 donation we got, I know we're probably not supposed to do that, but but we provided a pampering gift to seniors in the senior care in nursing homes and all that kind of stuff. And so that's where it started, was me getting out of my own way, right? And just being others focused and figuring out a way to start building relationships with people. And the best way to do that is that people don't want to be sold to, but they do want to shop, right? And do love gathering women, and they do want to help a good cause, right? And so that's kind of really and then we have a thing called David's Bridal in the United States. I don't know if y'all have it in Canada, but it's a bridal shop where we could get leads, like we were their preferred like beauty vendor or whatever.
In Canada, guys. So we do have a David's Bridal, but I've tried. They have a whole contract thing. So yeah.
And so
laws, right? Like about those kinds of like selling a mailing list, things like that. We're not allowed to, do that in Canada. But, like there's Selena, I just had an idea, sorry, but I was just thinking, you're at home with your grandkids, right? Something fun to do would be like, who else is at home with their grandkids, or who hasn't seen their grandkids since COVID began? I would love to send a pampering pack out. And if you know somebody you can nominate for that, I would love to let them just send me their digit, and I will call them and find out their skin type and what kind of things they would like in the mail.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Right now with the skin analyzer app that we
have that. Yeah.
A lot of times they don't even need to have like samples. You can get people to just do that skin analyzer. And the thing too is that, you may be living someplace that you're not from, and you don't know a whole lot of people, but we're doing everything virtual. So it doesn't matter. Like, people everywhere. So reach out to the people you do know. And that's what I did with the first Pink Love Packs, is I just reached out to my customers. And guys, I had 40 people. I sent a message out to all of my people, my customer. Well, I called everybody. I did a little thing called slide dial. And I called everybody, and it goes directly to voicemail, right? And left them a message. And then I followed up with a text message, and I had 40 people out of my, now I have about a 200 people customer base, right? But I had 40 people that wanted a Pink Love Pack.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love it.
Mine is with my new scooter. I was like, I will come to your house with the scooter and I will drop off packages. Just give me something to deliver. And they all want it. And you know what's so funny? Because they're already your customers. They're like, well, since you're coming anyway, can I get this and this and this and this? And this, right? And that's the thing, right? Like I just remember when I first moved, like I moved to Okotoks, and then I joined Mary Kay, and people were like, oh, Marilyn Bodie does Mary Kay, and she has a pink Cadillac. And that was it. Like, you're not going to do well because there's already a pink Cadillac driver here. And I totally bought into that. I really did. I bought into that. I talked to 2 different people, warm chatting, and they both said they were her customer. And that was it. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to do very well. And you know what? And the rest of the people never had heard of her. It just happened to be that, and people say that to me all the time. Like, oh, Carol, you must have everybody in Okotoks. There's 36,000 people here. Like, even if that was half the women, that's 18,000 women. Like, I would have to be selling lip glosses on a street corner. That would not, like, that's the thing. And they don't get that. So really just bringing that back to, that's your mindset, that's where our brains go instantly. So.
You're both very right. It's, what did you call it, Cindy? The thinking, stinking.
Yeah. Thinking, yes. But guys, the
Thank
only thing
you.
that's going to hold you back in this business is the 6 inches between your ears. Honestly, it is your thought. It's your thought process. And so, and that's too where you want to protect yourself. You want to protect yourself against those stinking thinking people, those negative people, those energy suckers. You want to surround yourself with people that are going to empower you, that are going to praise you to success. They're going to be in your amen corner. That's who you surround yourself with. Leave those other people out of it. Like, just leave them alone. I mean, unless, you sleep with them, then you do kind of have to, but you don't have to listen to them. Y'all, I told my husband, so this is just something, you might want to think about doing. If you have not so, a person that's not believing in the dreams that you're believing in, right? And my husband is a realist, and so this first part of this year, we were not doing well. We were behind about 13% every month from where we were last year at this time. It was not looking good. We went to leadership conference and we were on target for $500,000, right? And the company sent us a Scotland book, like a book, like beautiful. Like, I'm sure you got that too. I don't know. Do you get the same?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
And I was like, babe, look at this. This is so beautiful. He's like, yeah, Cindy, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I'm just not seeing it. And every time he would say something like that to me, it would just like hurt my heart. Right.
Absolutely.
I would say to him, I'm like, babe, I have seen God move mountains and I'm just believing he's going to do it again, and I went to a silent retreat and Paula,
Kirkpatrick. Yeah.
Yeah, Kirkpatrick was there. And I had never really hung out with Paula, even though we were on the top director trips together. But I took her to the airport after that silent retreat. And I told her that. And she said, Cindy, this is what you need to tell your husband. So if this is for anybody that's negative in your life that you get rid of, right? Like your
The ones
husband.
who are going like, oh, you want to be a national? How many directors do you have?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is what I went home and I told my husband, I'm like, babe, it is okay if you do not believe that we're going to earn this trip. It's okay. But I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, good.
Because every time you say, make one of those little comments or give me that look, it hurts my heart. I don't need that disbelief in my life right now. And he's like, okay, I can respect that.
Mhm.
And look, I mean, everything turned around. COVID, like,
Yeah.
we're rocking it.
That's awesome.
Has helped us. We've had our best March, April, and May we've ever had in our entire career. So, but I mean, sometimes you just have to have a heart to heart with that person and say, listen, it's okay. Whatever you want to believe, you can believe, but I'm going to believe in this and I don't need any negativity. So just keep it to yourself or you jump on my bandwagon. But I'm doing this with or without
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, both of you, very much. But
I know you have to run grandkid it up. Don't
yeah,
worry. We got
Grandpa's only, he's been handling this for an hour and a bit now. I better go like help him out.
Yeah. We love you.
Thank you, everyone. Love you all.
All right, Donna, Miriam, Moira, Andrea, anybody want to comment or give some feedback or ask a question? Donna? I'm going to call on you. Every time I ask, everybody goes, oh, no, I don't want to go first. I'm just going to tell you. Donna, just tell her something.
I totally can relate to you when you said your husband's a realist. My husband's a realist. He's a businessman.
Yeah.
Show me the money. Show me the activity. Show me something. And that is very frustrating and deflating. So I've had to have those conversations with him, and I share very little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to, like, you can share things like stats too. Like you can be like, here were my numbers last year. Here's my numbers now. Like we're at a 14% increase. Like those kinds of numbers work really well for realist type thinkers. Like I'm one. I mean, maximum thinking is not one of my top 5 strengths in the Gallup Strengths Finder. And I have to have some sort of logical thing to follow to understand that things are happening. So, I know that you can show him that, Donna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's his language.
Yeah.
And that in order to relate to him, because I am the big thinker.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what have you done? And I can say 25% over last year this time. Oh,
Exactly.
wow, look at you. because I don't share much. So
Mhm.
he doesn't know. So I've had to have those conversations, but I really do like, my struggle is connecting with people, although it should be really easy for me to connect with people online because I'm very shy and I'm an introvert, and just going out and warm chatting frightens the EBGBs out of me, and I'd rather have a root canal, thank you, than go out and do that. But I can certainly, it was just a reminder to build the relationships I already have, because I have some friends who are just waiting for me to ask, and I know, what you doing? What you up to? But I'm shy to ask or shy to share. But today I just broke out and I just told my girlfriend, hey, by the way, we're having a sale. I know you need stuff. Okay, put me down for one. It was just really easy. So it was just a reminder and an affirmation just to ask and to continue to build those relationships.
I love that. How many nationals do we hear say, no one ever asked? No one ever asked me. No one ever asked me, right? They take that personally too, that they're not good enough to ask, not just that other thing. Okay, Andrea is saying on the chat, I have so much noise in the background. I have a tough time getting my ladies excited about this opportunity. How can I get them to realize that this is pretty awesome and not sound like I'm just not asking them just because I fight how else I can put it? So when you're sharing the opportunity, Cindy, I know, sorry, I'm eating, but what do you do to
I'm
get?
sorry, I have not had dinner.
I know, neither have I, so don't worry. All good.
We did an area night, and then it started at 6, and then and I went.
That was me last week, remember? And I was like Cookie Monster eyes by the time my meeting came.
Yeah. So I think the most powerful thing is personal testimonies. I honestly do, and people want to hear your story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so important to share that why story. And what Mary Kay has meant to you and the culture and all that kind of stuff. Yes, the money's great, the diamonds, all that stuff is awesome, but it's those paychecks of the heart that really make a difference. And just sharing that with your people in your life, because a lot of people, I thought Mary Kay women had big blue hair and wore gobs of makeup and were old. I mean, I went door to door. Like, most people are ignorant when it comes to Mary Kay, and so we just need to. I just see if they're, I tell people, I'm like, this business isn't for everybody, but I just believe that intelligent women, like, check it out just to see if this might be something for them, right?
I love that. Intelligent women will
Make
at
a
least check
decision,
this out.
right?
And nobody's going to say, well, I'm not an intelligent woman. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I am intelligent. I should check it out.
And I ask them if they'll just be willing to listen and give their feedback. So
I love that.
no pressure. Just
yeah. And real testimonies, like real moments. It's not this is how much money we make and these are the things and then just talking at them, but actually getting into their hearts and finding their whys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that it is so great actually as a leader to know what the things are that my people are working for, because I can constantly remind you of what it is that's your goal. It's not a ring, and it better not be. It's more about what you're going to do with that money, like Christy in her castle. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, she's putting bricks in that castle every day and she's got to do that. And it's really powerful to watch that. So I love that. Okay, Moira and Miriam, I know you're both videoed off, but if you want to ask a question or you can chat it. I don't Moira, are you there? I think she's there. I can't tell. Oh, there
I
she
am. Yeah, no, sorry, I am here, but my tummy's a little upset tonight, so I'm kind of in and out and up and down. So
That's okay. Don't worry.
but the chat has been really, really great. There's so many little things I've written down. The usual, if you don't ask, of course, we all know that one. And finance a dream, and it will push you through. Just so many lovely little bits that could go on a board, could go on a vision. Yeah, June has been a really, really, really hard month.
It's okay. We're here.
Yeah. Sorry, it just isn't coming together for me this month.
You're working from home
Yep.
and frustrated with that.
Losing it. Yeah.
What was the one thing that you think from today that you could move into tomorrow? Like something that you could apply?
You mean from tonight?
Yeah.
Probably just that same. The one we all know, if you don't ask.
Mhm.
I
Are
think
there
Dawn-
people that you haven't asked?
Well, there's certainly people that I need to get back to, and Donna just said it too. She, contacted some people, contacted a friend, and said, "Hey, this is this,
Mhm.
and it is what it is, and I'm doing this, so let's get on it." Like it's not. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, nothing to be ashamed of. It's a good job. It's a good thing. So why don't we tell more people?
That's right. There's so much honor in what we do. And you're so good at that, Moira. You're so good at the matter of fact of like, no, this is the way it is. And like, honestly, it's a great deal right now. Skincare's on sale. And you can't go to the store to buy it. And if you do, you got to wear a mask. And I'll ship it right to your door.
Yep, you can't try it on, you can't take it back, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So get on with it.
And that's the thing. Like, I think if you tap into those amazing gifts of yours, that you won't have any no's, honestly.
Thanks, Carol.
You can do this. And figure out where that money's going. And it would not be to like put in your profits.
Exactly.
I'll
In
pull
my
it there.
profits, not my credit card. Dang it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's the thing. Like we talked about this before. You can get destination addiction in this business. And it's like only the next prize and the next prize and the next prize. But there's nothing fulfilling about that unless there's something about what you really want and that lifestyle that you want that's coming out of this business.
Yep. Big star there.
Is that your boy just walking around? Just
That's my 16-year-old. Yeah, he's taking a shower in my office shower. I'm guessing his brothers are in the other shower.
the other night on my Zoom, one of the kids decided to plug the toilet and then flush it 9 times in the bathroom right beside my office and slam the lid and I was like, and I was training. So it's not like I could just be on mute. Like, really? But anyway, Miriam, you're on mute. I don't know if you're still there. If you want to unmute, I'll give you a couple of seconds here, and then we'll let Cindy go and eat. Because, I wanted to share that I was reminded of something about big dreams and lifestyles today, actually. One of my customers now, who was at my very first Mary Kay meeting, which was in the condo at my adopted director's. And, Donna, I'm going to get you. That's awesome. And we were sitting on the floor in the condo, and all of us were sharing our big dreams and visions. And it was my very first meeting. So I wrote down exactly what kind of life I wanted. I wanted my side-facing garage, and I wanted to step out of my pink Cadillac, and I wanted to walk in the house and have the very first thing I see to be the piano that I bought for Scott with my Mary Kay money. And I had it all written out, and it was all like, and then everybody shared, and I was the last person in the list, and their shares were like, I just want to put $50 on my credit card this month, and I just want to buy my groceries. And they were so little and so not passionate about any of it. And do you know where any of those people are right now? Nowhere. They're all gone. And they're all working the same jobs, and they're all in the same situations, and they're not doing Mary Kay anymore, and they don't have anything to dream about. And she was like, you were the only person who shared the big thinking. And that is the thing. You guys have to think about your big stuff. She says she's with her baby. No worries. If you could think of a question, you can always message me and I'll ask Cindy separately, okay? So Donna, you have a win to share?
I do. So last week when it was
Angela, yeah.
Angela, so she came on and I said one of my biggest challenge was, you know, not having worked my business, not really growing my business the last 7 years. My challenge was the digital world.
Mhm.
Well, I did my first video the day after the call and I posted it. I sent it to my customers and they loved it. I'm getting nice because the first day, no one saw it. Third day, no one saw it. And I'm like, no. Well, today I got a whole bunch, like your video, like was great, like the message, you were personable. And I went,
That's awesome.
that was to my customers.
I love that. I
Oh,
love
yay.
that. How many of you have posted something and it's been crickets for like 5 days and then all of a sudden, like nobody gives a rip about your goals till you're halfway there or 3/4, and then they're like, oh, now I'll buy mascara? Thanks.
All the time.
All the time. You're like, I needed you 5 minutes ago. I didn't believe till tomorrow. Christy?
I just want to say, like, I've had lots of customers in the last couple of months that I've messaged that's like nothing, and then they're all of a sudden like, oh, hey, I need cleanser and moisturizer and stuff. So that I feel is really good and rewarding. Like, it makes me feel like, oh, I'm still around for them, right? And that I'm available, and that I obviously left some kind of impression because I haven't seen them in 1.5 years and they still found me somehow and remembered me. So
Love
that's
that.
kind of validating, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what you're in this for, right? You're in this to help other people.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to forget sometimes, especially when you're pursuing a big goal, that that people want to help you and that you are in this for loving everybody else. I love it. Okay, well, Cindy, I'm going to let you go eat your supper. Thank you guys for being on tonight, and big stinking love for you, Cindy, my girl. And I so hope we do get to travel. My hope, this is my hope. I am praying so hard that they just postpone the trip to like May so that we can go in May. That's my hope. I know. I don't know. I don't want cash. I want to go.
I know.
But I also don't want to be in 2 weeks quarantine when we get there and 2 weeks quarantine when we get back.
I know. We were talking about doing, like, we kind of hope that it's going to be like a buy, like where everybody gets, you know, the trip, everybody that earned it this year gets it automatically next year, and it's Scotland. And then if they earned it next year, then, or, you know, next year, then you get money then. But on the trip, you know what I mean?
That would be awesome. I agree.
Like that would be great. Or if you upgraded to like million or whatever, which I'm kind of happy because we did not hit million this year, or we haven't quite hit circle of, you know, prestige. But I feel like going into July, we have so much momentum that we're going to hit million. This is going to be our $1 million year, you know? And so, and Scotland and Ireland is like the top of my bucket list. So, okay, I'm going to take a picture real quick. Everybody's phone.
Okay, everybody go.
Okay, cute. Okay.
I have some of you talking too, so I'll send it to you.
Girl, I love you so much.
Love you.
Guys, y'all make it on purpose. Powerful pink end of the year. Love y'all.
Love it.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, do you guys want to stay on or do you want to go? You're done? It's up to you. Does anybody want to share anything or need anything?
No, I'm good.
Everybody's good? You can, Andrea, if you need to be loud, you can be loud now. Don't worry.
I'll be loud. I'm good.
Everybody's good? All right, well, we're going to cheers. So raise your glass and cheers, whatever you're drinking. I don't care. But we've got this. You've got this. Okay? Just look for those little weird symbols and like, you know, God bless Cindy's so cute because she's so like, she's so Texas, right? And so